Yes, 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 yes. That was a stupid way to start. I don't know why I just did that. I'm sorry, but welcome. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Leeson Learned. That's right. It is the podcast where me, Jeff Leeson, that's why it's called Leeson Learned, finds out about fascinating, interesting people. And today is no exception. This is an interesting one today. This guy I met several years ago. He was getting out of a desk job. He wanted to get into stand-up comedy, not to perform, but to be a producer. And he reached out to me, had a few questions. We sat down, and ever since, we have been friends. He also came on the road with me last year. We did a full Canadian tour all across Canada, and he was our merchandise sales guy, I guess, if that's the, I guess is the correct term. But he came all across the country with us, and we had such a great time. In fact, he is one of the main reasons this podcast has even started. He was one of the first people to mention podcasting to me several years ago. He was one of the first people to kind of turn me on to the idea of podcasting when I first met him. And ever since I've known him, he's hassled me about doing one of these until I finally have. So it only made sense to have him on as a guest, and you guys are going to love him. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Derryck Birch. Hey,
nice
Derryck, what's up, man?
I'm glad to be on this podcast.
I can tell.
It's a dream of mine, actually.
Is it really? Well, you know what? This is interesting. You are actually the reason for this podcast in many ways. You are someone who has said to me many times, you should start a podcast. You should do this thing. And finally, I decided, you know what? I might as well just get into it. So in many ways, you are responsible for what is happening here. So I do need to thank you, first of all.
No problem.
And now we're going to learn a little bit about you, Derryck Birch, because I've known you now for a few years.
Okay.
Right? We've had what have I known you? What, 5, 6 years? Something like that, right?
About 5, 6 years since I've seen you.
And I have always been very fascinated by you, but I don't really know a lot about you. I know a little bit, but let's start at the beginning. Sure. Where were you born, Derryck Birch?
I was born in North York, Ontario. Just middle child, older brother, younger brother, 4 years all apart. And we just had a close family. We grew up in Toronto, born and raised here.
What were you like as a child? What's little Derryck like?
Little Derryck, I'd say, I don't know, it's kind of like a little mischievous.
Mischievous kid.
Yeah, I like to get into trouble. You know, things weren't bad at home, so I'd always kind of look for my own kind of excitement and trouble. So.
Things were bad at home?
No, they weren't.
Were not bad.
Were not. They were
so you
good.
wanted a way to make them bad outside
as
of
a kid, I just kind of started.
How old when that started? How old are you when you start
Probably
getting mischievous?
10? 8?
10 years old.
Maybe 8.
8 years old. Yeah. What was your first, you remember the first thing you did?
This one stands out. This girl in elementary school, I used to follow her home.
Okay, here we go.
She used to.
How old? Sorry?
Maybe 8.
You're 8 at this time.
Right.
And she's 8?
Yeah, we were in the same class. And I remember it wasn't good. This is like classic bullying. Like she was in class, and I remember I used to make fun of her. Even I used to make fun of her at recess.
For what?
She had these yellow teeth.
Okay.
And I used to call her butter teeth.
Butter teeth.
Right, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean,
butter typically not yellow unless you melt it.
Yeah.
I guess. So melted butter teeth.
I'm a kid, right? And it's a stupid thing to say, but.
Right. So and then you want to follow butter teeth home after?
Yeah. I
every day?
No, not every day, but I
reminding her of the teeth while you're following her?
A little bit.
Are you shouting at her, hey, butter teeth, I'm back here?
I actually did.
You by yourself?
I am.
And she's by herself?
Yeah.
So this isn't to impress your friends and make them laugh.
This is like a little crazy.
Just
like
a little
looking
vendetta.
back now, it's like that was pretty like weird. Like you're stalking a little kid home, and like bullying them and like shouting at them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember always about
the
teeth, or is it different things?
I remember. Yeah, I think I may have made fun of something else of hers too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't
I remember her name. Like I apologize, Cindy Wong, if you're out there.
Cindy Wong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember. It's crazy, but Yeah, that was like something I remember. I got expelled from school in like grade 3.
Did you get expelled for specifically the calling her the names or the following home?
Yeah, the following the home. Like, it's just crazy behavior.
Right.
And I was like a normal kid, but I was just like, I'm bored almost. And I remember I was like...
Do you have friends at this time?
Yeah, I did.
Are you a popular kid?
Not really.
No, but you have a group of friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had 2 brothers. It's just, I don't know, for some reason, I did that. And I think once I did that, something changed in me. I never was like that again. I was very, like, sticking up for people and stuff after that.
After the butter teeth incident.
Yeah, I felt like
interesting.
crap as
So you're
a kid,
8 years old. You follow Cindy home.
Right.
You're chanting at her the whole way.
Right.
Taunting her.
Yeah.
You get suspended.
Yeah, expelled.
Oh, like done. Like can't come here
Can't come
anymore.
back to that school.
Wow.
Yeah. So
now they ship you off. What grade is this?
I want to say 4, maybe.
Unbelievable! Wow, this is young. This is young to be this angry.
Young,
you know.
Yeah, that's young. Birch.
So you're going to another school now,
right?
And what do your parents say? What's the vibe at home when this is going on?
No, I think after that it was fine. I kind of was in more extracurricular activities after that. I played more sports, and I was an altar boy and all that stuff.
The day they say or expelled, when they say your son can't come here anymore because he's following people home yelling butter teeth, what is your parents? What do they say to you?
You know what? I can't even really remember.
What do they say? Pull out a picture. Let's see the teeth, son. Let's see if you had a point. Or are they like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, and we didn't have yearbooks for grade 3 or 4, so I can't even.
You couldn't even prove it.
I couldn't. I just know in my head, looking back, I'm like, I remember those teeth.
Are you disciplined at home? Are they?
I probably was. I was probably like
grounded.
Grounded, classic '80s grounding.
Right.
You can't.
I don't know what is that. What's a classic '80s grounding? Ferris Bueller.
I don't know. You can't watch TV past 9 o'clock or something like that. Who knows?
Wow, past 9.
Yeah, something like. Who knows?
School day ends at 3. You get 6 hours of TV time. That's unbelievable.
It could have been earlier.
You only get 6 hours of television in, son?
Hey, it was a different time,
Yeah, well, I mean, what was there, like 9 channels in the 80s or something, right? So there was not a whole lot you could do, really, past 9 anyway. So you're suspended. Now you go to the other school.
Right.
And now you're coming in here to the
guy.
other school, a new man.
A fun guy now. I change up. I'm a fun guy. Yeah.
Now you're fun. 8, though? You're still 8?
8 or 9 around
8 or 9.
Yeah, close to that
so
area.
now you go to the other school, coming in, saying, hey, I was the kid. I don't know if you heard about me. I don't know if you heard about me or not, but I was the kid that got expelled from that other one, the butter teeth incident. I'm sure you heard about it. I promise I won't follow any of you home if I can just stay at this school.
Right.
And so now what kind of kid are you?
No, I was just like a nice kid. I don't know. I'm big into going to church at that time. I was going to Catholic school, so I remember I was an altar boy, so I was doing that stuff.
This is after the incident of following somebody home.
Yeah,
you have a religious experience now.
I mean, because I grew up Catholic, so it just was in my head. I was like, I know I should be doing better, and I felt a lot of shame.
At 8 years old.
Yeah, I knew.
I know this is beneath me. I shouldn't be doing this.
Right. I know this is making this person not feel good.
Right. So now you come back, you're reformed, you're going to
repent.
You're doing great things with the Lord now. You brought the Lord into your life.
Right.
Now you're getting back on track. You're at the new school, right?
Yeah.
Now are you still acting out or are you a completely changed human now? No more act outs.
No more act outs.
It was just the one.
It was just that one
Just the one incident of butter teeth and following this kid home.
Cindy Wong.
At 8 years old. So ever since 8, you haven't been a rebellious kind of guy.
Well, we had another phase. That was the first phase.
What was the other phase? When did the other phase happen?
More in the 20s.
In the 20s?
Right, yeah.
Oh, now you're a man. Now you're an adult.
Actually, I'd say late teens.
Late teens. Right. Now you're changing it.
No, late teens. I'd say about 18.
18, right. And so walk me through. You go through from 8 years old up to 18. Mm-hmm. You got 10 years of the
good
Lord
behavior.
And good behavior. And now we're 18. What happens? What's the change?
No, I was kind of like seeing my older brother, how he grew up. He was a little bit more wild too, so he was more into partying, and I saw
Is
him
this Kester?
Oh yeah, that's Kester.
Kester.
So
One of
he
my
was
favorite names of a human ever.
Yeah, shout out to Kester, food stylist. If you guys...
Food stylist as well. Yeah. Kester, the food stylist, which is unbelievable.
It's a great,
it's amazing.
Great thing.
Guy takes pictures of food. It's incredible.
So he grew up, he was a little like wilder as a teenager, like early teenager.
And what's the age difference?
4 years.
4 years. So he's 16, you're 12.
Yeah.
He's 17, you're 13. You're looking at him going, look at the life this guy's living.
I remember.
He's out there rebelling, getting into trouble. Here I am going to the fucking church. I've been good since 8. I want to mix it up a little bit now.
Yeah, but he didn't inspire me to do that. It was more like he kind of almost scared me away from doing like anything bad and he just did cool, fun stuff. Like I remember him like picking me up on a motorcycle. Like in
his?
He had a motorcycle. I was in grade 7. So he was in grade 11, I think he had it. Like right when he was 16, he got his license.
Right. Picks you up on a motorcycle. But at 18, you have some kind of thing happen where now you're becoming a shithead again.
Yeah.
For a little bit. Another period of time. What happens?
Just kind of, I don't know. I started getting into trouble at work, kind of in the sense of...
Work? Where you work?
Okay. Well, we're past the 7-year, all that clearance and everything, so...
I'm sorry?
The city of Toronto. I was working in the government.
Okay.
So working in the government, working in payroll department as a student. And me and some of the other students, we just got this idea of how we could like make some extra money that summer, and we kind of did.
And what'd you do?
We got some blank checks, some government blank checks.
Oh,
and we had those made out to ourselves and people that we knew.
And so how did you get caught?
Didn't say I got caught. I didn't say that. No.
Didn't get caught?
No.
So you are working there as a student.
Right.
Being paid, or you're
working.
Okay. So you're working as a student. You come across some blank checks. You and your friends decide we're going to do a little scam here?
Some dumb shit. Yeah.
And you don't get caught?
No, we didn't get caught.
So how long does this go on for? How many checks are we talking?
A couple months. I don't know. Maybe 2 months. And I don't know, maybe 10 checks, 20 checks.
And you cashed them?
Oh, yeah.
All of you cashed them?
Yeah.
Never a problem?
Yeah, there was a problem, one or two.
What was the problem?
Someone got picked up.
Picked up?
In the sense of, it was kind of weird because the guy who tried to cash it under a fake name, he also worked for the government, so he was kind of easy to find. It was a government check, and he had a legitimate job working for the government. As
you all did.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you all worked for the government.
Yeah. I didn't actually cash them in my name, but...
They were in someone else's name?
Yeah. They were
always... Fake person?
Oh, no, or a real person that we knew.
And then you would just get the money from them?
Yeah. So we did that and the person who actually orchestrated that whole thing was the supervisor's daughter. Like, I could look back and I'm like, wow, like, she was kind of the mastermind behind it, but I just went along. I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. And that was another just little dumb little phase I had for a couple years.
But you didn't get caught, but someone gets caught.
Right.
And what happens to that guy?
No, the guy, he got picked up, but he called me like...
Picked up by police?
Police, yeah, questioned.
Arrested?
Yes, arrested.
In jail? Is this gentleman in jail now?
No. Not in jail. But I remember he called me.
Does he serve time?
No, he just told me he was questioned by the police and he didn't say anything.
Questioned? So they didn't catch him? They just
they
picked him up,
him.
said, was this you? He says no, and that's it?
Like, I don't know. They said they questioned him in an interrogation room, so.
And then what? They let him go?
Yeah. They didn't give him a name, so they didn't really have anything else to go on.
So every one of you gets to keep this money?
We all kept it.
And nobody ever gets caught, and nothing ever happens?
No, so that was just little dumb little stuff like that.
How easy is it to steal money from the city of Toronto, apparently?
No, I mean, that was before online. That was before the internet, really. This is the time literally where you could literally just print. So the blank checks that we got, we literally had to go over to a typewriter and put it in.
Typewriter?
Feed
How
it.
fucking old are you? What
I'll tell you in a second.
Is this?
So we'd feed it into the typewriter. You type out the person's name and how much the money is, what the amount is, and we have a blank check, someone's stamp that we rubber stamp all the signatures of all the supervisors and everything. So it's how much to just type it up. I'll just go home on my typewriter and just type up checks and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a little different before online. There was no really traceability back then. They wouldn't even know if a stack of checks went missing.
Wow. So you don't get caught. You get the money. When do you quit the job? Is it done after high school?
No. So I worked there 3 summers.
Did you steal every summer?
The second and the third.
So
yeah.
First summer you do the
Yeah.
job. Second
Yeah.
and third, it's like,
Right.
hey, we should probably do some other shit here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Right.
and then what happens after the third summer? You're done?
Yeah. I just wasn't asked to come back. I thought I was going to be able to stay because...
You weren't asked to come back.
Yeah.
And any indication as to why?
No, they were suspicious of me. Like one
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that because of the checks, or is that
it
a
was
totally
about
separate?
some checks, yeah.
Of course. So second summer, no problem. Third summer, now we're starting to ask questions
Right.
like, where the fuck is our money?
Right.
And why have you been taking checks?
Yeah.
And so there's some questions asked.
There's no proof at all. Like, there's absolutely nothing. Like, there's no proof. And there was something else that weird happened that last summer, or that going into the fall.
Okay.
So that was like September.
What was that? What was weird?
Well, I remember it's like September 11th, like 2001. It's like the day the towers fell, obviously, right? So I remember I was at work, and that shit happened, and we all ended up leaving work. So everyone left work early that day.
Right.
And then I got called in to my manager's office a couple of days ago, and the days after, and they were like, we heard you left early on that day, and, you know, that's going to be another, like, strike against you. We can't keep... They were almost looking for a reason to fire me, and it was so weird that it was, like, weird because it was, like, September 11th. Everybody left early that day, and that was the day that they kind of let me go, too, from that job.
So a bunch of people leave.
Yeah.
You leave also.
Yeah.
They don't get questioned. You do.
No, I didn't get questioned either. They just really had...
Bless you.
Bless you. Anyway.
You get questioned. They
Right.
say this is another strike
Right.
against you.
Yeah.
First strike was the checks.
They didn't even have proof on that. So the first one could have been, I don't know what exactly the first one. It could have been like some kind of incident I had with this guy.
We had an incident.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's not interesting.
What happened? What's the incident?
Nah, it was just like more of a drinking on the job kind of thing.
So you're getting hammered.
Not
while you're-
hammered, but we had a drink, and I think
I drank
I drank.
of.
I believe it was vodka and orange juice.
And who is this guy? Is he a superior, or is he
No,
another
this guy
student?
was just, wow, this guy, his name was David Johnstone,
Okay.
and he was probably like one of my favorite guys I ever worked with, but like looking back, he was like a pretty heavy drinker.
I guess so. He was drinking on the job.
Right, and I was
He
like,
works for the fucking city. What's his job there?
he was in payroll as well, so he was like
So
a payroll
he's
representative.
in the payroll department,
Right.
getting drunk at work. Who brings up, hey, you know what we should do right now in the middle of the day?
he would.
We should have
we
a
sat
drink.
next to each other, so I was like
And
a
he's
student.
older. He's a man?
Yeah, I was 19. He was like probably 37.
Jesus Christ. So here's a kid sitting with a man at his job.
Right.
And the man says, hey,
Can you go downstairs and get me some vodka?
can you go get me vodka?
Right. He's like, I got some orange juice. I'm making some drinks. And I'm like,
And you say, sure.
okay.
This is at
Yeah, this
11
is like
a.m. or
noon,
something.
whatever. 11,
Right.
Yeah, noon. Yeah.
every day or just one
No,
day?
not every day, but
Multiple days.
multiple times
So
a
they
week.
don't
yeah.
catch you for the most
No,
part. And
no.
then all of a sudden,
Maybe
one day, how do they
there's
catch
some
you?
talk about him drinking. So
Right?
I don't know. It kind of probably got out that I was. I mean, I had some incidents. I'll say again, like at work too, like after hours too. So yeah.
What do you mean?
So I had gone out maybe my second year to an office party, and I remember I was drinking, and I ended up making out with one of the ladies who worked there, and it was this make out Birch, you know me, it's the fucking story of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up making out with this lady, and then everyone in the office was talking about it. So I think everyone was talking that like, oh, this guy likes to go out and drink, and there's probably and me hanging around this guy wasn't exactly the best kind of thing to be doing. So
you're a kid working in the
I mean,
city.
I'm a man.
You're 19 years old, right?
Man, yeah.
That's a kid. You're a kid working for the city. You go to an
Right.
office party. You end up making out with one of the women in
Oh.
the department.
Yeah,
like
she's
like
amazing.
an older
Manuela.
woman.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
Manuela. Oh,
Sorry.
Manuela.
Right. And how old are we talking?
I was 19. She must have been 36,
Right. Which is
38.
really your
My
thing.
wheelhouse.
So,
you.
so you make out with her at the office party.
Right.
Somehow you get a reputation as a guy who might like to tip a few back and maybe make some poor decisions.
Sure.
Since he's making out at a fucking office party with Manuela, right?
Right.
And now all of a sudden they put two and two together and go, oh shit, we put this guy with that heavy drinker every day. Maybe there's some shit going on at 2 in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
Right.
We ought to look into this.
Right.
Then they'd start taking a closer look.
Yeah, I think probably a little bit. And that, just like I said, that by the third year, I think it was just...
But how do you get caught?
I really can't even remember, to tell you the truth.
Because you're drunk. Because you were drunk. You don't remember. So now cut to...
Right.
Months later, you've had the office party where you're making out with the woman. You're drinking on the job with the guy. Now they got you with the checks, maybe not.
Right.
And now here we are later, and on September 11th, when the fucking towers are being attacked, mysteriously this guy leaves.
Right.
Now we've got to sit him down and say, hey, listen, you left early on this day, so did everybody else, but really we've been needing to fire you since we found out that you've been helping Gary drink on the job every day, right?
Gary, nah.
Or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah.
So now you're fired because you left early, but really that's not it. It's a buildup of all the other things.
For sure.
And you're 19.
Right.
Where do you go from there?
From there, I just started getting... like corporate jobs, so I started like applying for like customer service jobs at Rogers.
Did you
Royal
get that?
Bank. Yeah, I ended up getting the.
Where's the next place you work?
Royal Bank.
Royal Bank.
Right.
And what do you do there?
Worked as a teller, and then as a front desk operator or officer.
Okay.
Then as the assistant officer who like sends the checks, like
back to the checks.
The money orders, like the wire transfers, all that stuff internationally.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I worked as a personal banker, so opening up new accounts, selling GICs, mutual funds.
At RBC.
Yeah.
And then how does that end?
Very badly, actually.
Fired?
Yep, definitely fired. Yeah.
Why?
This one was for some fraud.
Fraud?
Yeah.
Okay. That you've done?
Yeah.
What did you do?
A little bit of everything, like just everything from like fake money, so like counterfeit money, to duplicating people's like credit cards, their bank cards, taking
and so
traveler's
you're duplicating
checks.
Credit cards to use them to spend their money,
right?
And then they find out, oh my God, this guy we hired, who somehow got a job here, even though he's been fired for drinking on the job by the city of Toronto. Now we've hired him. He's worked up our system, and now he's fraudulently doing these things. And they fire you, but no legal ramifications at all?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, what happens there?
Like it was like I worked there for 2.5 years. I gotta say, first, it sounds like I'm like not good at my job, or I'm like really fucking over a lot of the jobs that I do, but I'm actually really good at the job.
It actually sounds like you're a criminal mastermind, and
but I'm not.
You are really weaving your way through these jobs to a point where we've got checks being cashed and fraudulent shit going on, and you know that's unbelievable. So now, but walk us through. You're getting fired from RBC, but this has got to have a legal problem.
So this is what happens. So basically, the day I get fired, this is about maybe 2.5 years in. Yeah. I work at like 20 different branches. So I'm basically a fill-in guy.
You're fraudulently doing things at every branch, or was it at one branch?
Just different ones. Here
okay.
And there.
So you're doing something here, then you get transferred, and now you're cashing checks.
But not, I would just work at different places throughout York region.
You can't work at the same place. You can't get away with that type of shit at the same place.
I mean, you could. I kind of did, actually.
Okay. So you do it at one place, and then you think, okay, I should probably move around. Yeah. So they finally catch you.
So they caught me. The day they caught me was the day I actually... I had my handwritten resignation to hand in.
Right, of course, because you can feel the pressure. Probably,
you
can feel them getting closer.
Yep,
you can't live this life forever. The fucking doors are closing in on you. I can't live like this. I got to get out of here. But they catch you first, and they say what?
They say, "Come with me in the back." So I just thought I was having a regular staff meeting with my manager.
Right.
So I'm following her, and then I walk
How much money are we talking about that you kind of got from these people? Like, are we talking hundreds of thousands, a few thousand? How much money did you fraudulently get?
Like me personally, I didn't see a lot of it, but it was.
So you're doing this for other. You're doing this.
I was doing it with
others?
other people. I was doing it like.
And they're paying you out of their thing. Like there's a whole thing.
Some of it was
going
like
on.
that, and then some of it.
Are you involved in like a bigger
no,
scene?
It was
Like
just
is
like
it
a couple people.
pulling?
It was just a couple people.
Are you working with like a gang of some kind? Not a gang, but like a.
Some of my friends, and then some
an organization,
and then some of the employees.
Right.
Some of the employees.
So there's a whole system going on here. It's
Right.
corrupt. So they call you into the back.
Right.
Derryck, we need to talk to you.
Yeah.
What happens?
And then it wasn't the manager who was in the room. It was this guy sitting at a desk.
Yep.
And then he's like, "Hello, Mr. Birch," and he's like, "This is your file," and it was a file about this thick.
Yep.
And he put it down on the table. And then he was like, "Do you remember this blah 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 incident? Do you remember when you changed this guy's PIN number?" And he just started rattling off all these different things, and I was like, "Okay, it sounds like this guy might know something." And he's like, "Oh, if you don't," he's like, "I've got a TV here. We could watch it. I could just put it on right now." And I was just like, I literally froze up. And I was like,
of course.
Okay, just do not say anything. Just remember rule number 1, shut your fucking mouth. Don't say anything. And he just kept talking. He kept talking about all this stuff. And then he gave me his card at the end. And he was like, yeah, I'll be in contact with you. But he's like, obviously you're fired and you need to find a new job. So.
And who was he?
And he walked me out. He was a former police officer. He was a private investigator for Royal Bank.
And so do they arrest you?
No. He just said, you're free to go. But
you're fired.
You're fired. You're free to go. I'll be in contact with you. And then everything in my mind was just like that whole weekend was so fucked. 'Cause I was like, I might need a lawyer. I might need to do a bunch of things. And I was so scared, man.
So what happened?
I ended up calling him back the next week and then meeting with him. And then we met at a Krispy Kreme Donuts, I remember. And, we just kind of went through everything. We talked about, like, what he busted me for. It was about these business checks I was trying to cash, these fake business checks for someone else.
Right.
And I thought that none of them actually got cash because I'd be checking the system to see if they got cash because I get, like, half the money or whatever.
Of course.
And none of them went through, and it was all weird. And I was like, man, I didn't even get any of this money that you guys are, like saying that I got. And he's like, oh, no, those checks were actually cashed. And he showed me, like, a list of all the transcripts. So these checks actually were cashed. So I was like, fuck, this guy fucked me over. So he did cash the checks. They actually went through. But somehow I couldn't, like, see them.
So your business partner that you're cashing fraudulent checks with is cashing the checks, not giving you the money.
Right.
They have no access to this guy, or did he get
They
get in
couldn't
trouble
find
as
that
well?
guy. They couldn't find that guy.
They don't know his name?
No.
Who's he cashing checks under the name of?
Different
Some business or
owners,
his?
yeah, because we'd have all the business profile
So
information.
you're
yeah.
writing the checks to the business.
Right.
He's supposed to cash
They're legitimate checks. They're on the account.
Of course, you work at RBC. Of course, they're legitimate. You're the inside guy.
Of course.
So he's working you. How do you know this guy? How did you meet this guy that's pulling those strings?
I met him through like one of my good friends who was working there as a teller too.
Right, and so the good friend says, "Hey, I can hook us up with this
a guy
guy
who can like cash business checks, and he's got a like way
So
more
for
money.
a while, is he giving you the money, and then all of a sudden the
it was
money
more
stops?
just at the end. That was like right near the end. So
For a while, you're making out
maybe
with
like,
these checks.
maybe a month or so.
Then
It wasn't
eventually
a month
the checks stop.
right.
You don't ask the guy, "Hey,
I
why
did. I
aren't
was
you
just
cashing
like,
these?"
I was asking my friend because we were working doing other like scams, and they were
Right.
working, but like this part wasn't working. So I was just like,
Are the other scams through the bank, or are they elsewhere?
no, through the bank.
They're through the bank.
Yeah.
So
So just
this guy,
just dumb shit I was
this
doing.
former police officer, now's got you at the Krispy Kreme,
Right.
And you're talking about the fact that he knows
Right.
what you're doing. You've come
Right.
clean. He's telling you that he's cashed the checks.
Right.
You're saying I haven't gotten any of the
I
money.
haven't got any money, so I'm like,
Now, how does that get resolved?
yeah,
Where do
literally-
you go to jail, or how do you?
I thought I was like,
End up.
the question I asked him point blank. I remember I was like, so does this mean I have to get a lawyer? And he was like, no. He's like, I think you'll actually be fine. He's like, you're just like more of a lower level guy in the bank. You go after more the people who like do like mortgages and fake lines of credit and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Even though for the last few years you've been cashing fraudulent business checks?
Apparently.
You're just free to go?
Apparently, like, I think they only had like maybe the last like year stuff, because I'd worked there 2.5 years and I'd been doing, so he was just like, I think he was more focused on those business checks at the end, which were like 10,000, like 5,000, 8,000, like, for them, he's like, we go after people for $500,000 and we don't even have time to actually to kind of prosecute this. So he's like, you're probably not going to need a lawyer. But he's like, good luck. You're going to have to find a new job and you're probably going to have, a hard time just doing that. So, and I was like 24 at the time, I remember.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay, so now you're out of that job. Now, where's the next place you work?
Started doing TV repair. So
fixing people's
TVs
TVs
over the phone, just digital
over
boxes.
Over the phone.
Just customer service shit.
So they call you when their cable box goes down?
Yeah.
You talk them through how to.
Or if they're looking at a black screen, I'm like, ma'am, just turn your fucking TV on, or without the fucking part.
Okay.
Like, say, turn your TV.
How
on.
long are you at this job for?
Maybe like a year.
What happens there?
And then I actually got promoted like 4 times when I was in Rogers.
Yeah, you seem to be good at getting promoted so that the scams can go on.
You know, I went to Rogers specifically because like, there's no way I can actually steal anything from this company or like do anything fraudulent. So I'm like, this will be a good place to go. That's what I actually thought when I went there.
Because you knew inside yourself, I know if I can run a scam, I will.
To try to take money.
I cannot control that.
Yeah.
I will run a scam. And I've now
Back then.
I've been let go by the city of Toronto for drinking on the job. Ooh. I've been let go from the bank. Sure. Almost went to fucking jail. So now I need to go to a place where I just simply cannot run a scam.
Right.
So you start in customer service. You get promoted to what?
I think like technical support. So wait, customer service, I worked in technical support. Then I worked in like the order entry, so like working with the dispatch officers. Then I got a job like working in the small business department, like doing marketing for like Rogers Phone, and like, let's say they bought Aurora Cable, or if they bought all these different companies, like I would be the one who creates the communication and sends letters out to them. And yeah, I was a marketing guy. I was a marketing guy, yeah.
And then how does that end?
I got downsized. They cut half the department in one day. So it was like, they had this huge layoff like years ago at Rogers. They're always having like some kind of layoff, but I remember our like, I think it was maybe 20 people and 10 of us got cut that day.
And how long are you there? How long were you there for?
Maybe, so I was in Rogers maybe 6 years total. But
6 years, no scams this time.
No, nothing.
No drinking on the job.
No, I was clean, man. And then I worked in that last department for about a year. So after that, off again, more corporate work after that. Just keep going from office job. Next one is selling tax software.
Over the phone?
Over the phone.
So you go from fixing televisions over the phone to selling tax? What is
selling tax accounting software.
Over the phone.
Right.
And how long are you at this job?
About a year and a half.
Now this sounds like there could be some scamming going on. Is there anything you're doing here?
No, it was one of my favorite jobs actually.
And what happened?
Because my boss, my boss was this Newfoundland lady. Yeah, Sheila, real fun lady, real cool. But yeah, no scams, man. I just sold accounting software over the phone. Like I hit my sales targets. I was good at the job. It was like a good little crew, and then I got downsized again, like maybe a year and a half in. So, yeah, they cut like 3 out of the 6 people in our department that same day.
So downsized again.
Downsized again, yeah.
And then on to what after that?
Stand-up comedy. I started
into stand-up comedy,
producing some shows.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
well,
that's what led us to this. That
here's
was the
what we're
longest
gonna do.
Intro ever.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get back here and talk more about Derryck Birch and all of his jobs that he's been fired from or left for a varying degree of reasons.
Right.
One of the greatest Canadian criminal masterminds of our generation, a man who has escaped jail,
man with no record.
On Zero record of any of this other than this podcast now. Derryck Birch. More with Derryck right after this.
This episode of Leeson Learned is sponsored by the Big Fish Steak and Lounge in Sarnia, Ontario. One of my personal favorite restaurants in the world. I was going to say in the country, but no, in the world. They have some of the greatest food I have ever had. Every single time I eat there, I think to myself, it will never get better than what I have just eaten. And the next time I go back, they top it once again. It's that good. If you live in the Sarnia area, make sure you book your reservation for lunch or dinner, or hell, book your reservation for both right now. Do it tonight. What are you going to cook for dinner tonight? Probably something awful. Don't do that. Head on over to the Big Fish Steak and Lounge. If you don't live in Sarnia, I suggest you make a trip down just for the food, or if you're going to be in the area, stop in and have one of the greatest meals you will ever have. This episode is also sponsored by the Car Lot Etc. in Sudbury, Ontario, where they make buying your next vehicle very, very easy. Let's say you go online, you find a vehicle that you want to test drive, but you can't quite make it in. No problem at all. They will bring the vehicle to you so you can take that test drive right from your own home. They do have the largest used truck inventory in the north. They also have the best selection of cars, SUVs, and vans. If you're like me and your credit is, let's say, not great, that's no problem. They do have options for everyone. You can also trade in your vehicle. They offer the best trade-in value in the north. So head on over to the website, thecarlot.ca, and book a test drive right now. This episode is also sponsored by MVP Properties. For all of your property management needs in southwestern Ontario and the GTA, big or small, these folks do it all. From helping you find great renters for an investment property to large-scale property management, MVP Properties is a complete solution property management provider based out of the Kitchener-Waterloo area. Problems with your current property manager? No problem. Give them a call. They'll be happy to give you great service at a reasonable rate. Visit mvpproperties.ca or call toll-free 1-844-284-RENT. That's 1-844-284-7368, or locally at 226-499-4687. This episode is also sponsored by Laughing Viking Studios in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Laughing Vikings is a digital media studio and live entertainment production company turning delusions into reality. Located in the heart of Toronto's TV and film district, the studio is the ideal home for creators, actors, podcasters, photographers, and filmmakers who need a convenient and flexible space to create. Book your studio time for self-tapes, podcasting, film shoots, photo shoots, casting sessions, workshops, and rehearsals, and ask about their memberships. Visit laughingvikings.com today.
We're back here with Derryck Birch, Employee of the Month, Derryck Birch.
Yeah.
I want to, we've gotten to the point where you got into stand-up, but I want to go back for a second.
Come on.
Because I want to know, obviously you had this kind of stuff going on at work, this fraudulent behavior and the criminal activity.
Yeah.
I want to know outside of work, what was going on outside of work? What kind of people are you hanging around? What type of stuff are you into? Because if you're doing this shit at work, there's got to be some crazy shit going on after work.
Yeah, so during that time, I kind of had I had like two sets of friends almost, like friends who were just like into normal, non-criminal shit, and then some criminal friends who would like usually hang out and try to figure out new ways to kind of make a little extra money here and there. But we always used to like be really close, so I remember used to play a lot of poker games together. We always like used to go out, like hang out together at clubs, different things.
That's the normal stuff that people do when they hang out. True or false, you were going to rob a bank at one point.
Right. I mean,
Was there a plan in place to rob a bank?
At one point, we had actually, started thinking what that might be like. Yeah.
Yeah. And who comes up with that? You're sitting around playing poker. You're
definitely.
going to the clubs.
No, but we play like a lot of house games. This is like when
Right.
Texas Hold'em was getting big on online. You know, Chris Moneymaker, that 2000.
So you're playing each other online?
No, we just actually would invite each other over.
Together.
We'd have our friends of friends.
Playing the poker.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know what, guys? This isn't very thrilling. What if we robbed a bank? And I want to also know, is this the time where you're working at the bank? Are you the inside man at the bank?
I think this could have been shit. Now I'm like thinking, there's two different things we were planning at the same time. So I think the time while we were at the bank, the time I was at the bank, we were working on like robbing this other guy completely, who was just a business owner. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember
robbing him like of money or things.
Cash.
Where? At his house?
No, just he came and picked up money from the bank all the time. So
you're gonna wait till he got outside? You tell your friends, hey, he just came out. He just came in. He's got the money.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Did it ever happen?
Yeah.
You robbed him.
Right. Yeah.
You robbed him.
It took
who?
Yeah. No, we all did.
And how? Gun?
No.
Knife?
No.
How do you rob him?
We try to do it so...
You just yell?
It was kind of, well, not funny, but we knew, I knew his whole pattern because he'd come in and pick up money every weekend. He used to fill ATM machines, so he'd always need tons of cash.
Right.
Different amounts. And yeah, for some reason he stopped getting security. He stopped like having like people follow him even. Like you never really want to do that stuff by yourself, or you want to have someone else with you. And he was just really sloppy apparently, so we thought we could maybe rob this guy. But
you did rob him.
Yeah.
So how'd you do it?
We just watched his pattern for about a year or so. And then one Saturday morning we actually like executed that thing. It was cool. He came in, picked up the money at the bank. I thought he'd have like 50,000 or close to something in that. And they followed him. Like I followed him actually. I remember him leaving the bank and I was following him. It was a day that I called in, like I wasn't working that day. So I remember I followed him, like he went on the highway down to like Regent Park area and parked up. And then, he left his money in the front seat. He went into a store, he left his money, and then we got it out the car.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty easy actually. Like we followed him. He was so sloppy. He literally got out the car.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No, this is what happened. He literally, so he gets out the car. He goes into like a convenience store. He locks his doors, but we had a plan obviously for that too. So this guy comes up to the car, I remember I hear just one of the loudest cracks I've ever heard, and it was him slamming the front like windshield and it not breaking. Like the
who, your buddy?
Yeah, with a crowbar or something. So he slams and it's like crack, and it's like, okay, shit, nothing happened. He does it again a couple of times and it finally breaks. He reaches in, grabs the bag out the thing, comes running out to the car. I drive off, and then there's maybe like 3 or 4 of us.
How much money?
It ended up being 77.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Dollars?
Cash.
Cash?
Cash. Yeah.
This fucking idiot goes to the bank and asks for $77,000 by himself.
Yeah.
Drives to the middle of nowhere.
In Regent Park.
Parks his fucking car and leaves it on the front seat.
He leaves it in the passenger seat. So like he pulls up. We actually kind of know exactly where he's gonna pull up. So we have like a guy like just waiting for when he pulls up in the spot where we think he's gonna pull up. He pulls up. He goes in the store. This guy gets up.
What store? Where's he going?
He went into a convenience store, but he left his knapsack in the front seat. Right? We knew how sloppy he was. This is a guy
This is insane. I'm mad at this guy. He deserved to be robbed.
Oh yeah.
Should have been robbed.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So we robbed him, but then that money it never really like lasted. It wasn't good money at all. It was like one of those things that we had to split up 4 ways. And then by the time,
that's shitty. You had to split your $77,000  4 ways.
And then we all like had our own money, and then we tried to buy a house together, and then just the guy ended up like robbing me actually.
Same guy?
Yeah. One of the guys who was in my like little crew.
Oh,
like,
I thought it was the guy you guys robbed.
No. One of my best friends and
robbed you.
Him and his mom.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, him and his mom.
Oh, wow. Is it the guy that cracked the window and stole the thing out of the...
No, but he was in that little crew.
He was in the crew, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that guy robbed you?
Like, we're high school friends.
There's a shocker.
No, we're like high school friends, like real tight. Like,
yeah, well...
We used to live together. We were just real tight. And
Still
I found
$77,000 together.
I found out
Probably
that
more.
motherfucker was actually stealing from us during our poker games, too. Like, I found out a bunch of stuff after the fact from his, like... He was like stealing from us the whole time, like longer than that. So, yeah, I just walked away. Like we got a house together that was gone in Windsor, Ontario. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to walk away from just bad situations and bad people and just be like, you know what, this is doing absolutely nothing for me. This was wrong what I did. And then
nothing ever happened to any of you for robbing a man of $77,000.
No, nothing.
You never saw this guy again? Did you ever see him again?
No.
Didn't you still work at the bank?
Yeah.
He didn't come into the bank at all, ever again?
No, because, I don't know, they had really nothing on me. Like, I was not.
But why didn't he come back? He still had an account, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go clear out his whole account.
No, but.
So you never, ever saw that guy again?
But
ever.
he never saw us either, too.
But you never saw him. Not him saw you. He didn't know who you are.
Yeah.
But you know him. You work at the bank.
Yeah.
You fucking scouted this guy for a year.
Yeah.
And after you stole his thing, you never saw him again? He never came in to get another deposit or do a deposit or take anything out?
Nothing.
I guess why would you if you lose $77,000?
Yeah, and it wasn't like a physical robbery where he's like batter. If he did, I wasn't working at that branch. That was during the time I worked at 20 different branches.
Right, of course, because you're running scams all
No.
over the place.
But I was just in a pool, and like a lot of people in the like Royal Bank pool, you work at. Let's say you work all York region, so they could call you into Richmond Hill or Newmarket or Thornhill or like they'd call you anywhere one day. So literally, you would work 20 different branches. It was just normal for people. So we really never came across each other that much after, but. I kind of just heard about his pattern, and he was kind of sloppy, so from someone else.
Just incredible. Two cases where you should be in jail. Have you ever been to jail?
Never seen a jail. Never seen a jail cell. I've never visited anyone in jail. I've never been in a jail.
Do you ever just sit back and think? I mean, if you guys robbed, who else did you rob? What else did you guys do?
No, that's it.
Because that's not the only thing.
No. That was pretty much it.
No fucking way.
I mean,
there's no way a bunch of young guys steal $77,000, get away scot free, and go, well, that's it.
That was fun.
We really had a good time. No. There's gotta be. You gotta up the ante. You gotta rob more people. At that point, you're riding a high.
A little bit.
Right. So what else is there? Give me something else. You robbed this guy, this idiot who deserves to be robbed anyway. And what else are we talking about here?
So that kind of got me into the little bit of more credit card and like bank card duplication stuff.
So that's when the RBC shit starts?
No, I was done at RBC after that.
So now who are you doing this with? Now who are you in with?
Yeah, I'm with the same guys I play poker with.
But how are you running these credit card scams now?
So this is like different. This is like not through the bank at all. This is like straight through this guy. And I remember he was like half Russian, half Afghan.
Right. Okay.
And he would come over, we would talk, he'd know people like different, like who work different places, like, yo, you can run these credit cards and get money back, you can do this, you can buy stuff here, no problem. So he would sell us like a card, I remember. Like maybe for like $60, and you could probably use it for about $500 to $1,000 worth of stuff. So you could just use it as a regular credit card. Yeah, and then we just started.
Did you buy cards off of him?
Yeah.
So that's not you, though.
No.
That's him doing something illegal. And
and then working with him, right. And then I started just getting in bulk too, and like, it was just.
So then you get him in bulk, sell them to other people.
Right.
Now you're turning a profit on it.
Right. And I remember we used to do just stupid shit, and like one time, that's the one time we got kind of close to almost like robbing a bank kind of thing, and thinking about it, and like putting the initial steps, but thank God it never. Thank God it never even came to.
What was the initial steps, and what was the plan?
No, the initial steps were just
This is after you're at RBC, so it's not like you can rob RBC.
No.
You're not robbing your bank.
No.
So you're robbing a bank. What is the plan?
Yeah, this was just not even a bank. It was actually just a Brinks truck. So we were just planning more on robbing a Brinks truck.
You're going to rob a Brinks truck.
Right.
How are you going to do it?
Inside guy.
Inside. So somebody works for Brinks?
Right.
You know a guy, or he's got to get a job and work his way in?
He ended up getting a job, working his way in.
So you guys have this sitting around playing poker and going, hey, you know what? We should rob a Brinks truck. One of us should get a job.
Right.
How hard is it to get a job at Brinks?
No,
it's got to be difficult.
I believe he already had his firearm license. He had no criminal record.
Amazing.
So he ended up...
And you've already stolen $77,000 at this point, but no criminal record.
Yeah.
And you've done the cash checking and all that shit from RBC.
Right.
No criminal record.
Yeah.
And they let him in the door.
Yeah, so we're just thinking of like, is this possible? He gets a job there. He said they're pretty lax, they're pretty loose. People at
Brinks.
He's like, people at Brinks is like, technically, even if you actually rush somebody there, or if you actually grab the bag of money and run, then by law they're not like allowed to shoot you. He says,
don't they have guns?
Of course, but he's like, in their personal training, if someone's running, I guess this is like the opposite of police training. Like if they're running away from you, you can't shoot them. They're like, don't worry.
What the fuck is that about? What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. Don't stop, please. I don't know.
Excuse me. This is
like,
gonna look bad on me. Please come back. So one of your buddies gets a job, gets in the Brinks system, gets in the truck, starts working there.
Yeah, he's working part-time shifts.
So now you got an inside guy.
Right.
So how do you pull it off?
We were just thinking about the routes. We were thinking about like if it would be him working that shift with someone else. We thought about it'd be better if it wasn't him working. It'd be better if he found out how other people schedule. We were going through a whole different kind of thing while just trying to plan this, but it never really got off the ground too far, thankfully. I think just we were running some other stuff, and that stuff started heating up.
What's the other stuff?
Was the credit card stuff.
So the credit card stuff starts going well.
Right.
And you think, oh, we don't need to rob this Brinks truck anymore because our credit card scam is heating up here.
Yeah. And then that stopped, and then I was done. That was literally the last thing I did. Like, I remember that was about when I was 28, maybe 28.
Last thing you did was the credit cards.
28, 29.
How does that stop? And why does that stop?
I just stopped one day. I remember because we'd have to go out at night. We'd go out at night, maybe around, I think between like 1 and 3 in the morning. I don't know why. The guy was just always like, if you go out around this time, you have a better chance of like, there's not as much police during patrol in this region. And we were just trying to figure out like which banks we'd actually go to try to get money out of. So we'd have tons of like debit cards, their PIN numbers, and we were like, just try to go and get different like amounts. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work. Because people, I guess, had called their accounts like canceled or stolen or blocked for whatever reason.
Right.
So these were just duplicates of other cards. And this was like cards that this guy was getting in a gas station. So, you know, like when you scan your card at a gas station, they would like get the number off your card at the gas station, make another card with that exact same thing. And
of course.
Yeah, so like that was back then. And yeah, luckily I never got caught for that too.
So you just decide one day on, just like, for whatever reason, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, we've done it like a bunch of times. Like I remember sometimes you get like a couple $1,000. Sometimes.
Is this at the point when you realize you're being stolen from by your friend? You're being robbed?
Like, I just don't trust these guys too much anymore. Like it's just like the guys were kind of like, we knew them, but we didn't really know them. They were like friends of friends.
Right.
And they were just like.
But didn't you say one of your buddies robbed you with his mom?
Oh yeah.
Is that this time or is that later?
So he had done that. He had done that before. So this is later. I'm working with one of his friends, and then I don't know. I just wasn't getting a good vibe after. Like I was just like.
After you were robbed.
Right.
You didn't get a good vibe.
Right.
So you get robbed. Right. Your money's gone.
I'm like, okay.
And you think, gee, the vibe around here isn't very good.
I'm going to see what's wrong with me. I'm going to look in the mirror and see, you know what? Maybe it's not them. Maybe this all bullshit is just all me. And I'm the same person in the equation here all the time. So let me step back from these people and let me actually just cut off all those kind of people and just start a new kind of thing.
And where do you go? What do you do?
No, so that was the time I got into that like tax accounting software job, and then yeah, I started doing the comedy thing after.
And now you're out of the criminal game.
Now I'm out of the criminal game. It's been a long time. I'm 40,
So you
by the
get
way.
into comedy, the producing comedy, you're producing comedy shows, right? Then, at one point, like last year, you moved from Toronto, Ontario, out to a small town in Nova Scotia.
New Glasgow.
You start working at a
bar
and liquor store, right?
And a liquor store.
And what happens at the liquor store?
And actually a restaurant, 2 restaurants out there. I worked in 4 places out there.
What happens at the liquor store?
So the liquor store, funny enough, you should mention the liquor store. But yeah, I ended up working there for about 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
And then I got let go.
Got fired.
Yeah,
fired.
They said theft.
They said you were stealing.
Right. From the register.
From the register.
Right. Which was bullshit. It was like $150, and I'm laughing in my head, thinking, I'm like, of all the things to get like accused of doing,
right,
stealing $150, and it was.
And you're sitting there going, dude, I stole $77,000 from a guy whose patterns I watched for a year and a half to exactly know where the fuck he's gonna be, so me and my buddy can crowbar our way into his goddamn car and leave and steal the bag that's sitting right there. I'm not taking $150 from your register.
Right.
Didn't take it.
Didn't take it. Didn't take it. No.
Look into that camera.
I could tell.
Tell the world.
I could tell I could tell New Glasgow. I could tell the people at the NSLC. I did not take it. 100%.
Didn't do it.
I did not. I actually
Isn't that
I just settled
incredible?
my case with them actually.
For the one time you actually didn't steal.
Right. And
the one time where it actually wasn't you.
No.
Even though you have this suspicious criminal history, almost robbed a fucking bank. Almost robbed a Brinks truck. Excuse me. From the inside out. Cashing checks like nobody's business. Doing fucking shit with credit cards and all that. All goes all the way back to the mischievous 8-year-old.
Right.
And here we are in the small shit town in Nova Scotia.
Hey,
it's a nice town, whatever,
nice
but you
town.
know what I mean.
Come on.
And all of a sudden you're being fired for something you did not do.
Yeah.
And are you thinking that makes sense because of all of the things I've gotten away with in my life?
A little bit, but at the same time, I think I let that go too because, I think a lot of the times I think I did get away with so much, and you know what? Whatever, if they want to fire me, whatever. It's probably not going to be a good fit if they don't want me there. I actually really liked working there. I was in a small town, like you said.
Right.
I was dating a really great girl. And man, just after that, just things kind of spiraled downhill, and just ended up moving back to Toronto.
Right. The bar and restaurant and all the things you worked at out there. Right. Fired?
No, I left.
Left.
Yeah. Shout out to the bistro.
Okay.
And the commune and.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Here's what I'd like to do. Wherever you're watching this or listening to this right now, if you're watching this, I want you to leave a comment below. I want you to tell me if you think he stole that money. Okay? The $150.
I'm better than that.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm better than that.
I think he stole it. Nothing against you.
Hey, do you know?
I'm going solely on everything we've learned here tonight.
Right.
Okay?
Come on.
I think that you stole it. And I want to know what people think, and leave a comment. Did he steal it? Did he not? Now I want you to listen to everything we've heard about this gentleman's criminal history, his past. I think it was
some residue
stolen.
left over.
I think so.
Just let me get it out of my system.
I don't
one
know.
more time.
I don't know what your
see
boss
if I got
was
it.
like.
Let's see
I don't
if
know
I
how
got
you
it,
were
so.
treated there. I don't know the specifics, but I think it was one final fuck you.
You think I sabotaged myself?
Do I think you do?
No, you think I did in that case? Like maybe I did it on purpose, maybe to get fired?
Is that why you did it?
I'm asking you. What do you think from hearing all that now?
Well, that's an interesting point. See, I don't know if it's the thrill for you of the steal or the thrill of I might get caught, I might not. Because here you are, this has been a while now where you haven't stolen that we know of.
I'm out of retirement almost.
Right. Came out, you left the game after the credit card stuff was over, and you found out your friend was stealing from you.
Give me a 10-year gap.
10 years, and I think it just something was in you, and you thought,
no.
You know what? Fuck this. I used to do this all the time. I stole $77,000. How can I not get away with $150? I think it was a perfect amount too, because it's like, well, if I'm going to steal $150, why would I not steal all of the money in the cash register? Why wouldn't I steal way more than $150?
Why wouldn't I
That's
steal?
what I think is the genius about it. I think we've got a fucking mastermind here. We've got a guy who never got caught. His whole life, he's been stealing. He's been doing all these things. Not his whole life, but for like a while there.
Couple
he went
years.
through a good, solid 10-year chunk where you didn't you got away with everything.
Yeah.
Everything, $77,000 sitting in the fucking passenger seat.
Right.
This guy's getting away with it. That $150 for sure, man.
It fucked me, man.
For sure.
Yo,
as a
point,
point,
that was a hard 150 because
absolutely.
After that, the girlfriend broke up with me.
Right.
And a bunch of other stuff just started going downhill. So
karma. That's karma.
Maybe that's karma. I'm clean now, so by the way, if I ever do apply to anyone, or if anyone here watching this has a job, think I might be suitable for, I am trustworthy and I am a hard worker.
Well, this has been, I must say, this has been very enlightening.
Right.
And I appreciate that you were able to be here. Appreciate you being so honest and forthcoming here. A lot of people probably wouldn't have said a lot of this.
I probably shouldn't have used some of those people's names either.
Yeah, probably should have not used names but I appreciate that you were very honest.
And companies.
This was very honest. And big companies too, like companies that can really make a dent. You know what I mean?
But,
really popular.
I'm not scared of you now because I got Jeff Leeson. Remember that. If you guys come for me, you got to come for him. Just remember that. I'm with...
For the record, I had nothing to do with any of this.
No, but this is my guy.
Just simply a journalist getting to the bottom of the story, I guess. A journalist is having a rum and coke.
Come on, we're friends. We're friends. Yeah, so...
This is like the payroll department at the city of Toronto. Huh?
That was exactly... The guy kind of looked a little bit like you. I'm not even going to lie.
Hey, why not, man?
The guy was fucking hilarious, too. If I were to be honest, that's why, his death hit me real hard, I remember, because he was just one of the funnier guys I knew. But I remember thinking, wow, this guy likes to be the life of the party. He likes to be like Mr. Fun Guy in the office after hours. And then he literally died at a cottage. He fell into a puddle of water like this thick and died. And I was like, okay, well, I got to clean my act up. And apparently I didn't. But rest in peace, David Johnstone.
Well, this was awkward end. Talked about a lot of really fun, lighthearted stuff. You stole some money, fired a bunch, and we gotta end on this fucking guy died in a puddle.
I mean, saying it's not funny, but just think
just think
of the visual though. No, it's not funny.
It's not funny that he died.
No,
definitely not funny that he's dead.
No, I love that guy. Like
in
I said,
a puddle is hilarious. I'm sorry. I did not expect that. I've tried everything I could not to burst out in laughter, but that might be one of the funniest sentences I've ever heard. He died in a puddle. And I'm sorry, no offense to the guy that you first and last named, but this is a weird end find out a guy died in a puddle.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure.
That's okay. But he had a huge impact on your life.
Huge impact. And look at that. Now I'm in funny business in a way, and I get to work with great people in comedy. And yeah.
There you go.
It all paid off, It all
paid off thanks to the payroll department.
It started
in the payroll department, and it's led to this.
It has paid off.
Derryck Birch.
Definitely.
I want to thank you very much for being here.
All right, thank you
and
for having
sharing this incredible.
Right. Part 2 coming soon.
All right. We're
Hopefully.
not really done, but yeah, no, you can go.
Okay.
You're obviously in a hurry.
No.
He's in a hurry. You good?
Peace.
Derryck Birch, everyone. Thanks for being here, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
Get out.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild ride that was. What a fascinating life that guy has lived. Thank you so much to Derryck Birch for being here. I hope the release of this podcast does not cause him any trouble with the law. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run out, if there even is anything like that, on everything he just told us. I couldn't appreciate more how open and honest that guy was. There wasn't one thing that he held back there that I could tell. So I really appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for being here. I I can't express to you how much I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching if you're here on YouTube. I appreciate you listening anywhere that you get your podcasts. Look what I'm doing here. Why am I doing this? If you're listening to this, I'm doing something stupid with my hand, and I don't know why. Never done this before, and all of a sudden I'm doing it now like I'm a fucking politician giving a speech. But I'm not. I'm an idiot behind a desk talking about a podcast. Anyways, I digress. Thanks once again to Derryck Birch. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will see you next week. Well, we won't see you. You'll hear, you know what I mean. Fucking see you next week.